everybody in the office centers around what do I do in terms of what the most important thing is. What I was talking about yesterday is how do we make sure that 3 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now, 5 weeks from now, we don't get left that far behind the eight ball once things correct themselves. Now, what that basically means is how do we generate new business in this time of great uncertainty? Now, this is something that I've talked with a lot of y'all about, but we're talking about leads. Let's just say the word, leads. It's an ugly word, honestly, and I don't think we need to use that word anymore, to be totally honest, because they're not leads. They're human beings. How do we get in touch with more human beings? Well, we reach out to them. We keep track of that. We monitor our output. And it comes in a bunch of different ways. Now, the first of those being that we can just separate ourselves from the fact that I'm a human being, but I have a job to do. So are they. Anybody, whether it comes from a Zillow lead, whether it comes from somebody that walks in off the street, whether it's your uncle's, aunt's, best friend's, dog's, neighbor's best friend, all the same thing. They're all people. And they all have something, a problem that needs to be solved. If they don't have any problems that need to be solved, well then I want to take places with them. But so the first thing really is to, right now, more than ever, we've got some time to think and reflect. I'm not saying stop. I'm not saying go, 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 go. I'm saying reflect. Let's park the bus for just a second, even if it's a day. Do a couple of different things. One, let's define that ideal client. We've all done business with people that we drive us crazy and, what's going on here? Let's define our ideal client and the person that we can most readily identify with. Then let's start to cultivate and grow that list of people of which we're going to reach out to right now. They're home. So are you, hopefully. We need to define that ideal client. The second piece of the issue is to position ourselves from a branding perspective. Now, branding and marketing are two completely different things. They're not diametrically opposed, but they are separated. I say that branding is you, the person. Marketing is something else that you do as an activity. Branding, you, yourself, and I think that branding basically represents you, your personality, your persona, what you do for people, the problems you solve. That's what separates you from everybody else in the business. We can all market. We're all professionals. We can all market. We can all facilitate. We can all negotiate. We can all close the transaction. We can do all that stuff. We can advise. But we're not all alike. We're all uniquely ourselves. The next thing is to really optimize your lead generation funnel. What does that funnel mean? What does that even mean? If you're not thinking about it, a funnel goes three ways: big and wide, middle, down to the bottom. Top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. I've said over and over about how research phase buyers or research phase sellers are totally different than the people that have then clicked into transaction phase. We need to be monitoring who is where so that we can reach out accordingly, whether it's text messages, whether it's emails, whether it's video, whatever it is. We got to make sure that we understand where our marketing funnel is. And right now is the time to build that. The people that are in the research phase, all of a sudden, this is still a great time for you to keep looking, because let's look at it from a historical perspective. Right out of World War I, we had the Spanish flu. That lasted from 1918 up through into the beginning of 1922, about a 4-year period. You want to know what happened out of that 4-year period? The Roaring Twenties. Think about that. Now more than ever, it's time for us to prioritize the people in the top of the funnel, the middle of the funnel, and the bottom of the funnel, and let's go with it from there. But be systematic about your business approach. The next thing is then after we identify where people are in our funnel, then it's time for us to nurture, and then nudge, at least to a call to action. Kind of almost like the game Duck, Duck, Goose, right? It's duck, 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 goose. This is the time where we can identify by reaching out to people with no strings attached. It's not, oh my God, please, I don't really know what's going to go on in the next 6 or 8 weeks. No. It's first and foremost, you are in my existing sphere, and this does not just relate to the people that you already know, like, and trust, your best friends, your mom, your mom's uncles, aunts, cats, grandfather. That, not just that. This is anybody that's ever reached out to you or that you've reached out to that you have in your database that you can then figure out what category are they. Top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, or the bottom of the funnel. Are they research? Are they on the fence? Or are they ready to pull the trigger when the time is right? Right now is the time for us to nurture, then nudge. And that's not a disingenuous way. That's, hey, I'm thinking about you. I'm out doing errands. Is there anything that I might be able to do for you? Or, hey, listen, I just have been thinking about you. I know that we haven't been in contact. Just wondered if everything was okay. All the best to you and your family. Something to touch right now that we can do that might help people moving forward. That's what we do. We help people. And now more than ever, real estate is often viewed as an easy in. Everybody knows somebody. Everybody also knows some bonehead that's a real estate agent that's making more money in commissions than they are. Isn't it the time for us to double down on the fact that we actually care about the people first? It's time. There's always a silver lining. And what that really ties into is, what is our worldview? What do we have? What do we have to offer? What is our thing? Well, from a corporate and company perspective, we are the forever agents. We're going to be here forever for you. And by proxy, going to be there for forever for the people that we represent. Fix that into your brand. Surety in times of uncertainty is worth its weight in gold. There's a reason why the stock market flounders and Warren Buffett continues to have his stock price rise. That's not a corporate statement, but that's something for me to say. If you want to have somebody that wants that security blanket, then that's the security blanket. The second thing is really for us in terms of trying to nurture, trying to find those people that are really going to want to do business with us at some point in time, either now or in the future. Now's the time for us to just be there. It's not, are you looking to buy or sell real estate? I'm going to go buy a billboard out there. You want to know what that person's going to do? He's going to ruin himself the minute he takes that billboard out. This is not that time. This is the time to bring humanity back into real estate. And I mean that. From an elemental level, we are doing quite possibly the greatest service that we could do anybody. Let's do that. But let's be systematic about it in order that we can do our job the best way that possible. Right? So, you think about, and not to get too far off in the weeds, but you think about Maslow's hierarchy. There's a pyramid that is, I won't belabor the point, but one of the pieces, and it comes above food and shelter, comes above a lot of other things other than self-actualization, which is the highest piece of that pyramid. The third highest is a sense of belonging. So right now, more than anything, if you can take away one piece from this, let's help the people that you want to do business with. Whether you do business with them now or never, want to let them know that you understand and to feel like they belong in your tribe. Because that's where lead generation, which no more, human beings, we're human beings, they're human beings. They're not leads, we're not disposable. Now more than ever, this is the time for us to start cultivating our database. I know I beat you guys over the head with this, and I don't mean to, but it's the most fundamental bit of our business, of your business. And one final thing is to measure, optimize, and figure out how we scale up. What does that mean? Measure, optimize, and scale up. That sounds like some kind of Silicon Valley gobbledygook. What it means is exactly what we just talked about. Let's identify our tribe, figure out how to make it authentically us, utilize humanity during all this, and then nurture, nudge is the same. It's just continue. It's follow-up. It's the thing that we don't do. It's the stuff that we let slip through the cracks. Right now, we've got time to let that not slip through the cracks. Let's not let it slip through the cracks. And the final piece of that is to optimize, measure, and scale. What it means is, let's figure out how my conversations are going, what's going right or what's going wrong, measure those, meaning how many of those conversations am I having right now? Because what does it cost you to say, hey, I just wanted to check in, it's been a little while, I just hope you and your family are well, in a text, or an email, or a phone call, or a short little video. And then scale that up. How do I figure out how to leverage the people that I'm touching to say, I know now is a really uncertain time. If you know somebody that can benefit from me, please feel free to give them my contact information, or can I reach out to them individually? Y'all, this is not a time to hide in the corner. But it's a time to be much more systematic on the things that we do. Please, I urge you that right now more than ever, this, like I said yesterday, today's actions or your choice to not do anything are going to determine what happens when we do come out on the other side of this.